Good morning. Good morning. Let me see if I can get rid of the glare here. I'm back in my recliner this morning, and I want to talk to you for just a quick moment about Elizabeth Elliott. She was born in 1926, and she was a missionary and a critically acclaimed author and speaker. For over half a century, her life of obedience and timeless teachings and best-selling books have influenced both believers and seekers of the Christian faith period. For 13 years, Elizabeth Elliott opened her daily program, Gateway to Joy, with these words: "You are loved with an everlasting love. That's what the Bible says. And underneath the everlasting arms, this is your friend, Elizabeth Elliott." Isn't that an interesting radio program introduction? The resounding theme of Elliott's life was the boundless love of Jesus, and her greatest commission was to tell others about his saving grace. This costly call led her into the Amazonian or Amazon jungle, right, of Ecuador, where her husband, Jim Elliot, was one of the missionaries speared to death in 1956 while attempting to make contact with the members of a Indian tribe. I can't pronounce the name. And Elizabeth, along with her young daughter, Valerie, would later return to that territory to live among and minister to those people who had killed her husband. Familiar with suffering, Elliot wrote, "The deepest things that I have learned in my own life have come from the deepest suffering. And out of the deepest waters and the hottest fires have come the deepest things I know about God." Well, that is so true. I found that to be so true in my life. Elizabeth Elliott's life, her work was to share these deep things and the trustworthiness of God and the blessings of obedience, the hope of joy in the midst of sorrow, the call to love one's enemy, the priceless treasure of purity, and the true meaning of biblical womanhood and manhood. Having written over 20 books, some of her most distinguished books include Passion and Purity, Let Me Be a Woman, Shadow of the Almighty, Through the Gates of Splendor, and The Savage My Kingdom. The latter three chronicles, the latter three chronicle Elliot's missionary work and the life of her martyrdom of her husband Jim. She survived her husband, Lars Gren, her daughter Valerie, Elliot Shepherd, and 8 grandchildren who is left of her family. She remarried a man and his name was Lars Gren. And she left an impression that was very large. And she taught through her words and her example, you can be more intimate, you can know the Lord more intimately, um, and you can know who Jesus Christ really is. One of her favorite scriptures was Deuteronomy 33:27. "The eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath our everlasting arms." And for some reason, when I heard about Elizabeth Elliott, I thought she was more of a contemporary. I guess she was born in 1926 and she died in 2015. And so I guess she is a contemporary, but I guess I wondered, I think I thought she was still alive. Maybe I'm stuck in 2015, right? But she is a woman who has inspired so many people, a woman who truly understands what it means to forgive and put God's call above what we think. I hope you're enjoying these as much as I am. I've really enjoyed doing the research. I've enjoyed sharing with you, and I hope that you've been blessed, and I will see you again tomorrow. Have a fabulous day.